Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to answer NHS values interview questions. So if you have an interview coming up with the NHS for any job role whatsoever, it is highly likely that you will be asked a series of questions that assess your knowledge and understanding of the NHS values. So it's important you understand what the NHS values are, and you are also prepared for the interview questions that will come your way. Now, to help you pass your NHS interview, this is what I'm going to cover during this tutorial. I'm going to give you a list of NHS values interview questions that I recommend you prepare for. I will also give you brilliant sample suggested answers to help you pass your NHS interview, and the training you will receive today is applicable for all NHS band job roles. I will also give you some fantastic NHS interview tips and explain how you can impress the interviewer, and I will also tell you about further resources you can gain access to help you pass your NHS job interview. So there's 4 really good reasons why you should stay tuned and watch this tutorial fully from beginning to end. Now, before I get into the training, a quick, very warm welcome to this NHS Values interview training tutorial. My name is Richard McMunn. That is me there in the centre of the screen. I am a former fire officer, and since then I've been helping people like you to pass their job interviews, and I always do that by giving you top scoring answers you cannot find anywhere else. On that basis, please make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button below the video, and then you won't miss out on any of the training videos I upload. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video, and it's always great to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Please also make sure you hit the like button. By giving the video a like, that tells me you enjoy the content, and I will therefore spend more time creating it for you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get into those NHS values interview questions and the top scoring answers. Please take notes. The first question is, what are the 6 NHS values and what is their purpose? So my tip is, when you answer this interview question, make sure you tell the interviewer what the value is, what it stands for, and then finally tell them the collective purpose of the 6 NHS values. So let me give you a suggested answer to the NHS interview question. What are the 6 NHS values and what is their purpose? Here we go. There is a total of 6 NHS values, and these are working together for patients, which means working collaboratively with all NHS staff and others to provide a brilliant service to patients. Respect and dignity, which is treating people right, treating them fairly, and also making sure you respect them at all times. A commitment to quality of care is another value, and this is all about making sure you are totally focused on providing high quality care that encompasses all NHS guidelines, the policies and the operational practices. There is compassion, which is about showing understanding and consideration for people's feelings and their situation. Another value is improving lives, which is all about working together to help people lead better lives through care and education. And finally, everyone counts, which means the NHS is focused on providing the same treatment and care to everybody, regardless of their situation, their background, or their circumstances. Now, the purpose of the NHS values is simply to make sure the organisation and its people provide the best possible care for patients at all times. That is a brilliant answer that shows you understand what the 6 NHS values are and what their purpose is. Now, you can either pause the video if you want to and take notes of the answers as I progress, or if you wait, I will tell you where you can download my full set of 24 NHS values interview questions and top scoring answers. So the next question is, tell me how you work within a team. So this is assessing your knowledge and understanding of the NHS value working with others. So working with others in the NHS is a crucial part of all roles, regardless of the band you are applying for. So therefore, you have to give a concise answer that shows you can be a trusted team worker. Here is my suggested answer. I have lots of experience working as part of a team, and I always make sure I focus on four things whilst doing so. The first thing is to always focus on working towards the team goal or objective and encouraging others to do the same. Now, this is important because whilst working as part of a team, it's very easy to lose sight of the end goal. The second thing is to be supportive of my work colleagues. For example, if someone within the team needs help or support, I would always be there for them and I would assist them. The next thing I concentrate on is making sure the team works to each team member's strengths and experiences and also utilises these fully. I think it's a good idea to use people's strengths to get the job done quickly and to a high standard. Now, finally, at the end of every team task, I would always encourage everyone to think about what we could do next time to improve based on our performance. I like that answer because it shows you are considerate to other people within the team. You work to people's strengths and their experience. You focus on the team goal and you also think at the end of the team task how you can improve for next time, which is important when working in the NHS. The next NHS values interview question that I recommend you prepare for is, when have you shown compassion for others at work? So again, compassion is a very important aspect of all NHS roles. So make sure you give a specific situation you've been in where you demonstrated compassion and understanding towards others. So here's a great answer to help you. In a previous role, I always went out of my way to support my work colleagues, not just in their work, but also if they needed someone to talk to in times of difficulty. And I believe this shows compassion and empathy. For example, one of my work colleagues was going through an upsetting personal situation which started to affect her work. I offered to sit down and listen to her situation, not to provide any advice, but just to be someone she could talk to while she went through this tough period in her life. Now, during our conversations, I showed compassion and empathy, and I tried to encourage her to focus as much as possible on her work. I felt this would be a much needed distraction for her, and the team could really do with her help to complete the projects we were all working on at that particular time. After 6 weeks of being there for her and acting as a sounding board, she finally started to turn a corner, and it wasn't long before she was back to her normal self. So that shows there that you are somebody who can show compassion and understanding towards other people. Now, don't go anywhere because I still have some more questions to work through with you. But when you are ready, if you want to click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video, it takes you through to my website, passmyinterview.com, where you can download my full set of 24 NHS values interview questions and top scoring answers as well, including the ones that I'm going through right now. The next question is define dignity and then tell me how you will give patients dignity in this NHS role. So when describing what dignity is, make sure you explain it in a context that is relevant to the National Health Service. Then provide the interviewer with brief details as to how you will demonstrate dignity within your NHS job role. So here is a suggested answer to the NHS values interview question. Define dignity and then tell me how you will give patients dignity in this NHS role. Here we go. Dignity is a basic human right. Within the NHS, dignity must not only be respected at all times, but protected too. I would make sure I recognise that people have the right to freedom and the right to dignity in my work, and I would always treat people with equality and fairness. Now, to achieve dignity whilst dealing with patients, treating them or providing care, I would listen to their concerns, I would ask how they were feeling, and I would always take these into consideration. I would also involve them in as many decisions as possible. I would keep them updated and include them in conversations, and I would also treat them as an adult and be entirely respectful at all times. So that shows you understand what dignity is in a context of the NHS, and you are also explaining your considerations whilst dealing with patients and clients. So it's a really strong answer. The next question, what does a commitment to quality of care mean to you, and how would you go about demonstrating it in this NHS role? So this is a very tough NHS interview question. So could you confidently define quality of care? If not, Here's a great answer to help you prepare for your own NHS job interview. Here we go. Commitment to quality of care is making sure you provide the highest possible standards of care to everyone. Quality should never be compromised, and it is everyone's duty within the NHS to work towards safe, compassionate, and standards-driven care. To achieve this requires a collective effort from everyone, and also a continual desire to improve and constantly evolve based on the needs of all patients. Now, to demonstrate a commitment to quality of care in my work within the NHS, I would always follow the relevant rules, guidelines, procedures, and the applicable codes of conduct. I would also make sure my own training and professional development was a high priority, and I would always focus on the needs of the patient in everything I do. So that's a great answer to that question. What does a commitment to quality of care mean to you, and how would you go about demonstrating it in this NHS role? That's a great answer. So the next thing to do is to click that link in the top right hand corner of the video. It takes you through to my website, passmyinterview.com, where you can download my full set of 24 NHS values interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones I've covered right now during this presentation. The guide you can download is applicable to all NHS job roles, regardless of the band you are applying for. I think it's a great resource for helping you to prepare for your NHS job interview. As you and I know, the NHS do an amazing job. It's a brilliant organisation to work for, but obviously they want to make sure they get the right people who maintain high standards at all times. And it's really important that you prepare for your interview by learning the NHS values, understanding what they mean, and also thinking of times when you previously demonstrated them in a work setting. I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it's important so you don't miss out. Please also give the video a like, as I said before at the start. If I see you liking the video, I will create more content for you. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your NHS job interview. Have a brilliant day.